There we go. Good evening and welcome to round 8 of Apex this Season 20 GT3. I am Daniel Zippy Salmon, an up-and-coming producer, experienced commentator, and amateur stand-up comedian. I'm going to be joined tonight by this evening by Apex this veteran, Richard Swindells, live here on Pit Road Productions. Tell us a little bit about yourself there, Richard, yet again.
I've been watching the broadcast, which they should be doing. But like Zippy, I also live north up in here in Canada, and since we're Elkhart Lake, we got to have Canadians because we got Canada Corner here. Anyhow, I raced with Apex this for a long time, enjoyed myself immensely. Taking the last couple seasons off now, and I've joined people in the booth to try and give a hand and lend some insight to the racers.
Well, desperate times call for desperate measures, ladies and gentlemen, and you know what? The pickings were pretty slim, but I think we won the lottery on this one. Richard Swindells joining us here in the booth. But Richard, why don't you take us a little bit through about some of the tracks we've already been to so far this season?
Oh, we started off the season at Watkins Glen. I know that's a favorite of many of Apex this, especially Corey Mitchell. Week 2, we went to Algarve. Week 3, we were at the Nürburgring Grand Prix track. That's one of my favorites on the circuit. July 7th, race 4, we were at Daytona. Everybody loves Daytona. We went to the track about an hour from my house for the 5th race of the season, Canadian Tire Motorsports Park. Race 6, it was always good down in Brazil. Race 7, last week, we were at Fuji, the home of the longest straight on the iRacing service. And here we are, week 8, Road America, Elkhart Lake, Wisconsin. Let's go Cheeseheads. And then we're going to finish up the season. We're going to Barcelona for week 9. Then next we're going to Imola for week 10, followed by Virginia International Raceway week 11, and closing out at the home track of Apex this, Circuit of the Americas. Now, Zippy, can you tell us a little bit about Road America here?
Well, I gotta be honest, I'd like to say that this is all my famous expertise, but I'd be absolutely lying through my teeth. But this is courtesy of Wikipedia, ladies and gentlemen. I am not as wise as I may seem, just on the off chance you gave me some actual credit on this one. But Road America is a motorsport road course located near Elkhart Lake, Wisconsin. I also failed geography, so don't ask me where on that is. It's in America somewhere. Wisconsin, Highway 67 actually, but it's hosted races since the 1950s and currently hosts race in the IndyCar Series, IMSA Sports Car Championship, the Sports Car Club of America GT World Challenge America. That's got a lot of Americas in it. And Trans Am Series and the Moto America Superbike Championship.
America. Yeah. Well, you know, Zippy, as far as I can tell, I actually believe Road America and Elkhart Lake, Wisconsin is north of me. So I don't know if I'm north of the border or south of the border, but anyhow, it's one of only a handful of road circuits in the world maintaining its original configuration. It's 4.048 miles in length. It's got 14 turns. Track features many elevation changes along with a long front stretch where speeds approaching 200 miles per hour may be reached. Well, not in these cars, but you're going to see some quick speeds. One of the best known features of this course is a turn on the backside known as the kink. It also has the Briggs & Stratton Motorplex, a karting facility, and off-road circuit too.
Well, it definitely sounds like a fun place to go, but we're going to drop in and see how they're doing in qualifying. Now, ladies and gentlemen, as always, if you spot something going on with the stream, please let me know in the chat. I appreciate that I've not been doing this for the longest time. I'm definitely far from perfect at it. Commentary, a little bit better. But in terms of, directing, there's a lot left to be desired as I make an absolute hash of that. But Mark Miller's currently sat in pole. And we got an interesting scenario here, Richard. It appears to be a little bit wet today.
Well, it's going to make for an interesting experience for these guys. I know, it definitely throws a huge change in the plans here. It's not about who can go fastest now. It's who can navigate the circuit the best, the cleanest, and who can put on the right tires at the right time. You never know when this weather's going to change. It might dries up. They're going to want to go to a slick, and whoever gets on there first might have a chance of victory.
Well, we're going to have to wait and see, as right now Mark Miller is your pole sitter with Andrew McMurray in second, Brian Zinn in third, Daniel McElderry in fourth, and Morgan Smith there in fifth. And I think it's the WBM car, if I remember rightly, that Lamborghini there. I got to get a closer view of that. Hold the phone. Wrong camera. What about this one? One of them's going to get closer. There we go. WBM. Ira's right. That white and blue paint job, certainly one that we're getting more and more familiar with. A couple of cars on the grid backed by these guys. I believe Fozzie Fazillo, yeah, he is also part of that team. And I think Austin Diltz as well. Josh Sheps, is he? No, he's not. But yeah, certainly a few of the WBM guys out and about. I see there is 3 people viewing it. I do wonder if the iRacing volume is quite loud enough. Please let me know in the chat, or maybe Richard, if you could verify that for me. I'll keep talking, and we'll do a little bit of a walkthrough here. As we see there, very, very wet on the track. Not excessively yet at this point, but it's fair to say it's a little bit moist, ladies and gentlemen. Let's have a look at the views we've got available to us today. So here's a cockpit view, and it looks like he's in the starting part of the track. Yep, just ran first 2 turns and going underneath for the first bridge. Heading down, actually no, I'm with the wrong button. He's just gone through the kink, my apologies. He's near the later part of the track. You can see there, that's Morgan Smith. But let's try and find somebody a little bit further around, ladies and gentlemen. I'm looking for somebody who's just starting their lap. He's near the start. You know where he is. We'll try and find somebody there. Oh, Andrew McMurray, you've just been caught the Taco Bell Ferrari. Having a little bit of a detour there. What about Daniel McKelvey? Perfectly placed as he comes to a stop.
The Taco Bell car had to pull over and get some cheese to put on top of that taco.
If it's my experience of Taco Bell, the one more comedically known, it's he's pulled over, but that's because he's had Taco Bell, ladies and gentlemen. Definitely, you know, you got to be near a toilet if you're in that scenario. But here we go. Whereabouts is Russell Elizondo? That looks like he's going down the start-finish straight. Let's do a little bit of an onboard lap with him now and see whereabouts this gentleman is going. A little bit of a view behind it, ladies and gentlemen. You see the spray. Richard, how did the audio levels check out, by the way? Everything good there?
Yeah, I think we need to turn up the in-car audio a little bit there, Daniel.
All right, let me do a little bit of a tweak here. A word that keeps hiding my mouse as soon as I change windows, which doesn't make it any easier. And of course, it pops that back up in the way. Get over that. All right. Again, it does need a little bit of improvement. We don't normally have it quite as loud as this, so we'll try that. I'm not sure what's going on with that, but anyway, we're on board with Russell Elizondo. He's just gone down that first straightaway, well, I guess the second straightaway, and this is going to be one of the corners that I expect most of the action to occur in terms of passing and in terms of accidents as well. The next corner, a little bit of a blind crest as they go into that Corvette branded bridge. Certainly a few of the guys will be cheering for that one. Russell Elizondo not using quite all the track there. This next right-hander, you can go almost flat, give it a little bit of a lift, maybe a little bit of a dab on the brakes, get the weight towards the front of the car. Heading down, you're going to brake just after the 2 marker here. Well, it's certainly in the dry just after 2. You really need to get that car slowed down. That corner is tighter than it looks. And then this corner, again, very, very aggressive on the tires. It's quite hard to master, certainly one that I'm pretty inconsistently at. Well, inconsistent, sorry, but definitely very, very high speed as he's disappeared. Come on, come back. Oh yeah, that's the end of qualifying. That'll do it. Getting so excited there.
Went around the carousel and just disappeared.
Well, let's take a quick look at the grid here. So in first place is Mark Miller in the number 19 Porsche 911. Neil McDougall alongside him in second with Philip Adams in third. Andrew McMurray in fourth with Brian Zinn in that Corvette in fifth. Morgan Smith, great result for him in the Lamborghini in sixth. Craig Ream in seventh and Daniel McKelvey in eighth.
In ninth, we have Corey Mitchell, followed in 10th by Adrian Adams. Russell Elizondo is in 11th, followed by Troy Banks in 12th. In 13th, we have Aaron Sunday, followed in 14th by Sean Giroux. Josh Sheps is in 15th, and Stan Hammonds, he did not set a time, but he's showing 16th on the board.
As we have a look now, Paul Slavinik surprisingly did not set a time as well with Austin Diltz. That's the WBM Mustang in 18th. Ty Johnson in 19th. With Roman Bykov, he also drives the Mustang. It'll be interesting to see how that does in the rain. He's in 20th. Joseph Maher in 21st. Vincent Wood in 22nd. I don't know how I want to play this. I'm trying to think of many polite but kind of jabby names to call this guy. Mr. Richard Swindell.
I am not last. I'm 23rd.
He's in the commentary booth, and somehow miraculously he appears 23rd on the grid. He did have a little bit of a whoops there, decided to join the session rather than spectate it. He's in 23rd, ladies and gentlemen. I'm willing to bet he doesn't move up the order with Tyler Reed there in 24th and Fozzie Fazillo not yet sent a time as well in 25th. So it's fair to say Fazillo is going to get a free place, but let's take a quick look here. get the boxes back up for you, and there we go, ladies and gentlemen. It's definitely a wet track today. Actually, can we try and get a little bit of the track temperature up? Maybe you've got that information handy on your side there, Richard.
Yeah, it's light rain right now, 66 degrees Fahrenheit. I'll use Fahrenheit units for our American friends here. Track temperature is also at 65 degrees Fahrenheit. So, cool track, wet track. Yeah, it's going to be a tough start to this one, but let's see how the weather holds out through this race.
Well, I'm going to try something here. We'll see if it worked. Whatever I tried, it didn't work. It was a good effort. I was trying. I'm sure there's a way to put it in that box at the top. It's escaped me for now, though. But ladies and gentlemen, this is going to be a fun race, and it's interesting to see as well how the rain is going to have an effect. It's also going to be interesting for me to see how the computer, how the software is going to deal with the rain. Obviously, iRacing has had some issues with rain, and some of the people running the 20 series car, to which I identify as one of those people. But apparently, in qualification, Richard Swindell's passed Tyler Reed for P23. That's news to me. I don't think he's quite managed it, but it's going to be a fun race, ladies and gentlemen, fun race. But Richard, who's going to be your drivers to keep an eye on today?
Well, this week is going to be interesting, but a man who hasn't been around for a number of weeks, because I believe he was out on a year of vacationing, is Craig Ream. He's sitting in 7th, it looks like, and Craig's always got pace, so I'm keeping an eye on Craig.
Well, he is definitely one of the quick cars out on the field. I know I've raced against him as well, and he has been a very, very capable driver. He's in a Corvette Z06 GT3R, that 004 car. I'm trying to identify him out in the field. I've got to be honest, it's a lot to see. I can see a couple of Corvettes, and I believe it is that one there, the orange and white one. No, that's the 24. Where's the 004? Okay, so it's right behind him. It's the white-blue one. There you go, on the left of your screen now. Yeah, the 004 car of Craig Ream. For myself, I know Corey Mitchell's feeling a little bit nervous about the rain. Morgan Smith actually put in a very good time as well, but I'm trying to think, you know what, my money today is going to be on this gentleman here, Daniel McElvery. We've seen him, he's been a very capable racer, and you know what, I don't know how he does in the rain, but I've seen the way he manages, you know, when the car gets a little bit loose, and I think he could be somebody worth watching. Not only that, we've seen he's had success. Actually, come to think of it as well, Chad Stanowski not present today. He was last week's winner there at Fuji.
It's disappointing. Unfortunately, with the summer schedule, it makes it tough for a lot of people making it every week, but there are some drop weeks, so that shouldn't hurt him in the point standings.
Well, I am seeing in the chat, the Dow, I'm not sure who you are, but I do appreciate you joining in. He tells me that Neil McDougall is the rain whisperer, and he's calling it now. So, ladies and gentlemen, our expert in the chat booth today, ladies and gentlemen, he's calling Neil McDougall. And to be fair, I'd say that is a pretty solid call. I'm not going to disagree with him. Neil has had incredible consistency. Actually, Mark Miller as well, I don't think he's yet to win a race, but he's managed to get on pole. So it's great to see that he's doing well in the rain. I do wonder how bad the weather forecast is going to go for the rest of this session, though, with being a 40-minute race.
Earlier, it looks like the weather's supposed to clear up later in the race. It'd be I'm not sure when, so we'll have to keep an eye on that. You know, as the call to change the tires is going to be the big call that may make the difference between first and fourth. You know.
Oh, absolutely. 100% I agree with you there. I am just trying to multitask at the minute there, Richard, so you keep talking, sir.
The cars are coming down the back straight, about to go into Canada corner. It's a very long pace lap here. I guess they let them run the full thing so that they can get a chance to try and put some heat in their tires, and it's going to be interesting because we're coming around. We've only got a couple of corners left before we get on to the straight for the start.
Oh, it should be a fun one, ladies and gentlemen, and it's definitely going to be fun for us to try and keep an eye on everything that is happening, but I'm looking forward to it. It looks like the 911 having really good promise here, but you know what, they're getting ready to go. The pace car is about to pull in. I've got my magic button set and ready, and ladies and gentlemen, these guys have to go on green, not a moment before, and I certainly wouldn't suggest a moment after, as Neil McDougall is there. He's going to be in second, and Mark Miller is the one leading the race. As what a fantastic view, that fine metallic machinery heading across the line under the bridge and heading down into turn one.
So far we've got a clean start, but man, the visibility in the back must be awful.
Oh, an absolute cluster of a scenario. As we see there, Mark Miller takes the lead into turn 1. Well, retains the lead. A couple of the guys there having a little bit of a wiggle there from that white Corvette. That might have been Brian Zinn. Yeah, that was Brian Zinn there in the teal color Corvette. A little bit of a wiggle. He's on the inside right now of Morgan Smith, able to get that move done. I say that, get the move done. He's up 1 position right now. I am going to change the passing filter off just to see. I do see a couple of people. It tells me they pit on lap 0 and lap 1. That's Austin Diltz and Josh Sepp. So I think that may be perhaps a penalty, you know, having to start from the pits. Because they do appear to be out on track. We'll check more on that later. As I see there, Corey Mitchell in the background, just touching the grass very slightly, having a little bit of a wiggle there, as it looks like Russell Elizondo just made his way past Adrian Adams.
Everybody's looks like gotten through clean so far, which is a big surprise. Great racing by all these drivers, keeping it on track and keeping the cars pointing the right way.
Well, it definitely is challenging conditions. And looking through the standings right now, there is a lot going on. I'm trying to work out where the best action is for you, ladies and gentlemen. And it's fair to say it's everywhere. But it looks like Philip Adams and Andrew... Yep, Philip Adams and Andrew McMurray, they're going at it. Ferrari versus Corvette. Taco Bell versus... I'm not sure who sponsors the green car, but if it's edible, I'm probably going to eat it. And it looks like Andrew McMurray has been able to get ahead in that Ferrari and is now pulling away very, very slightly from Philip Adams. But the real story is Neil McDougall. He is pulling away with Mark Miller, already opened a 1.5 second gap on the rest of the field.
Yeah, that was a great move that was made there going through the carousel. Look at the visibility here. The cars behind just can't see anything.
Well, right now we're on board with Andrew Murray, and you can see there the car's just a little bit ahead of him. And it's fair to say that the visibility, I'd say, is all right now. You can still see where you're going, but maybe not too well. What about Philip Adams? Yeah, you know what? I'd say that's pretty decent visibility, ladies and gentlemen. He can see what he's doing, and I'm thinking it's going to be a very fun race. And you can see as well, the guys are going to look like they're taking... Oh, no! McMurray's gone round!
Yeah, if you're looking on the track, you can see there's puddles of rain forming on parts of the track, so it looks like he might have just hit one there and lost the back end.
I am seeing a potential issue for Russell Elizondo as well. Let's take a quick look at what happened to Russell first on. Quick replay here. Richard, talk us through.
Well, I haven't seen anything yet here, Zibby, but he's going through the carousel, it looks like, at this stage of the track. Oh, it looks like somebody may have come together a little bit, and one car went a little wide, and that was it.
Yeah, that looked like Adams. They had a little bit of a nudge there on corner exit, and I see that he has come into the pits. Well, it tells me he's pit on lap 1. What about Andrew McRae? Let's get a quick replay of that. We saw where it happened for him. Let's get a better view there so you can see a little bit of a twitch there, heading into the final corner. Tried to get the car slowed down. I see he dipped a wheel in the grass very slightly, and he just got ricocheted off the track. Have to be very careful on that rejoin. You can see there that Ferrari struggling for grip as they go back again. But a little bit of a power slide as we go live. Obviously, that course is getting very, very soggy at this point.
Yeah, just keeping it on track is a supreme effort, and so far it looks like everybody's managed to do so, unless they've actually dipped a tire onto the grass. So kudos to all of them.
Well, it looks like Russell Elizondo has left. He has retired that car. Definitely not what he had in mind. It's a shame because he qualified quite well, I believe, as well. So definitely not what he had in mind. But how about some of these WBM racing guys? Let's see how they're doing. So Morgan Smith, he's holding on in that Lamborghini. Actually, I think he is the only Lamborghini in the field as well. Sadly, no one has yet to bring a McLaren. And not only that, oh, no, he dipped a wheel there. That was almost the end. Daniel McKelvey looking to capitalize on that little mistake. Not able to get it done, or if not, choosing not to go and force the issue. As actually Craig Ream, that was your pick of the day. He is right behind McElvery and applying the pressure. As I'm on the wrong car there. There we go. Applying the pressure. There you go. That's a view out of the back of McElvery's car, and we're getting a full-on front view of Craig Ream. That Corvette hot on the heels with Corey Mitchell right behind him.
Yeah, Craig and Corey are definitely going to apply pressure, and looks like Craig has not missed a beat from his vacation. He's back on it hard.
I do think there's definitely something broken in that timing there for the compare. I do need to try and find somebody there who can get my my templates and stuff sorted out. If you know somebody, by all means, let me know. If not, Richard's going to be nominated. But I'm seeing a few more highlights. Mark Miller's just posted the fastest lap. That's good news, a 2:26. But let's see what happened to Fozzie Fazillo. Okay, so this is the start-finish straight, and it looks like a couple of WBM Mustangs going down into turn 1. And, oh no. Is it what I think it is? No, a little bit of an over-rotation, and perhaps maybe helped a little bit by Tyler Reed there. Let's take another quick look. I want to see the backside of that car. So we're on board right now with Fozzie Fazillo. You can see there, that is Tyler Reed right behind him in that Audi R8. You can see he gets very, very close. No, it's fair to say Fazillo absolutely lost that one on his own accord. Definitely not what he wanted to do, but able to get it cleaned up very cleanly. What about Sean Garou? It looks like he's had an incident as well. Now, Sean Garou, we saw in race 1 having a great battle with Morgan Smith, but it's fair to say Morgan is well out of the running for him at the minute. Sean back in 18th and Morgan up in 5th, and that is definitely a... well, it's a beautiful slide. I got to give him that, and well recovered. Almost absolute chaos there. That could have gone very, very badly. What about Tyler Reed? Let's see what happened to him. Richard, take it away.
Yo, Tyler's coming around here through the corner, and everything's looking good at this stage of the... Oh, but I think that's what happened there. I think he just...
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, the same spot that we saw earlier. That a little tricky, especially I think the Audi's got a little more twitchiness to it than some of the other vehicles, and spun her around. Well,
here's Adrian Adams. This is another replay, so that's Corvette versus Corvette. And the 55 car, that's Stan Howens. He spun next to him. And I got to say, great counter steer there. Able to get that cleaned up pretty sharply. Josh Sheps as well. We're seeing a lot more incidents. Obviously, grip is, it's few and far between. This is kind of like my bank balance at this point. You're hoping for what Sutton's there, and it's just not delivering at this point. But Sutton happened to Josh Sheps. I'm not quite sure. There we go. Just a little bit of over rotation, but I think that gets us caught up for the replays at least. Let's go live again and see exactly where it's happening. Richard, take us through the order as things stand right now.
Yeah, right now we've got Mark Miller in first, followed by Neil McDougall in second. Philip Adams is in third, with Brian Zinn in fourth. In fifth, we got Morgan Smith. Craig Ream has moved up. He's up to sixth place. Daniel McKelvey in seventh. Corey Mitchell in eighth. Andrew McMurray is in ninth after a spin earlier. And Stan Hammonds is sitting in the top 10 position.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, that closes out your top 10. We're not going to go through the whole field. I'm looking for the best battles, and it looks like it's between Brian Zinn and Morgan Smith. Morgan Smith there is trying to make a move on the outside. Well, I guess it's the outside. Is it the inside? At this point, it would be the inside, but he's going to want to try and send it on your... As you see it here, he's going to want to go on the right of your screen, try and send it on the inside heading into that turn, and try not to check up and actually take out Brian Zinn in that newly painted teal Corvette. I could have sworn it was yellow and black before. And definitely a fun corner, well, fun track to be at. It's one of the Princess approved, as I see as well. Ty Johnson and Austin Diltz. Austin Diltz just been able to get by. We'll try and get a quick replay of that. Give me 1 second there. I will cue that up for you. Here we go. Richard, take it away, sir.
Yeah, here they are coming down the straightaway, and so far everything looks clean, but it's just a matter of, are you going to be defensive here, or are you going to leave the door open? And looks like he just left the door open for him to come streaming up the inside.
Well, it looks like Ty Johnson didn't. He chose not to fight that pretty hard. He realizes it's a wet track. But what about Adrian Adams? Because he's now on the heels of Ty Johnson. Maybe Ty Johnson struggling a little bit for grip here in the rain. We did see Adrian Adams have a little bit of a twitch earlier in the water. Actually, I think it was at that corner. And another little twitch there. He's definitely trying to get as much grip as possible out of that Chevrolet Corvette. But, you know, oh, as I say that was Craig Ream. Craig Ream was off at the side. We're going to take a look at that in just a moment, but oh my gosh, and Adams gets it done. Let's see what happened to Craig Ream here. So he's heading around the outside. This is one of the fastest corners on the track. See there? Did he dip a wheel? Yeah, just dipped a wheel in the grass, and that is a... I don't know if it's a super hard hit, but certainly enough that it would have caused a little bit of an issue. We'll see here when he turns around. Nope, he has decided to abort that, and it looks like he's maybe turning back to the pits, or he's just waiting for traffic.
Craig's a pretty safe driver. I think he's just waiting for everybody to get by so he doesn't get in the way of anybody.
He is avoiding the memeing wrath of Kent the Big Dog Kruger. Great sportsmanship there from Craig Green. Definitely not what he had in mind, but anybody who's driving safe will definitely be rewarded. Actually, speaking of that, Roman Bykov, we not mentioned him yet today, and he is currently your hard charger, up 9 positions today, ladies and gentlemen. Oh dear, how have I done that? There we go.
Yes. It's nice to see Roman having what looks like a little bit of a bounce back from last week. He's sitting in 10th place right now. Let's see where he can pull it up to by the end of this race.
Well, I'm just going to try and oh, damn it. I don't know how I managed that, ladies and gentlemen, but it's certainly a little bit of a pain when the computer starts fighting what you're doing. But as we have a look through the field, as it looks like there's a battle going on. Oh my gosh, yes it is. Corey Mitchell is at the front. Andrew McMurray in second with Stan Hammonds there in third. Corvette, Ferrari, and Corvette. Andrew Murray is the meat in the middle of that sandwich at this point. Let's see. There we go, and the overlay is working back again. You see a little bit of a wiggle there from Mitchell, a little bit of a wiggle there from McMurray as well. These guys absolutely struggling, grasping, trying to find as much grip as they can.
Yeah, and both being the meat in that sandwich, I don't know if that's a nice place to be. Both the guys in front and behind him are very aggressive and very fast drivers.
You can see there the Mitchell Motorsport, or just Mitch Motors in this case on the camera angle we've got. And you can see there, that is McMurray closing up a little bit there. As you can see, Mitchell is very much under pressure, but he's handling it very well. He did say that he wouldn't be interested in talking at the same time, but I see there is another battle going on. Morgan Smith and Brian Zinn almost had a little bit of a pass there. Not quite able to get it done, but Philip Adams, I'm hearing, has crashed. Roman Bykov's crashed, as has Joseph Maher. Oh dear, ladies and gentlemen, chaos happening through the order as it looks like Stan Hammonds has just been dropped back as well. Yeah.
Man, everything's happening all on the same lap, and we'll have to see and find out what happened there.
I believe that I wasn't in the live action there, so let's have a quick look. See, first off, we'll catch up with Philip Adams, see what happened there.
Oh, we've seen that several times today entering that corner.
Okay, well, that's Philip Adams. That one's pretty self-explanatory. What about Joseph Maher? He's in the Ferrari this time round, and I wonder if it's going to be the same corner. Now, I do find that you have to have your settings. Oh, no, a little bit of a dip in the grass. And I got to say, these guys, at least when they do make a mistake, the sheer power slide angle is fantastic. What about Roman Bykov? He's he's in the Mustang, but why is it showing me? Oh, okay, we're showing Stan Hammonds right now. Here you go. He says Stan Hammonds is in the Corvette. I gotta say, I like the paint. A little bit of a wiggle there, and he's gonna get a nudge from the Ferrari. Not intentional by any means. McMurray not really had it anywhere he could go, and Hammonds hard into the wall there. Oh dear.
Just tried to go a little too fast through the kink in these wet conditions, and he paid the price.
Roman Bykov in the Mustang. Let's see what happened to him as well. I do apologize for all the replays, ladies and gentlemen, but we're trying to work out what is happening throughout the course. And you can see there, oh, that Mustang, he's trying to kill the crowd, ladies and gentlemen, and successful had it not been for that wall.
Yeah, it's only a 3-foot high wall, but the car's not that much taller, so everybody's safe.
Well, what about Austin Diltz? We'll see here. The Mustang's already known to be quite temperamental. Is it going to be the same result? Okay, that's the final corner, and it looks like he just caught a little bit of a puddle and hard into the wall.
Yeah, you can't run your regular racing lane when you've got puddles and lots of wetness out there. You got to adjust your racing line, look for the dry conditions.
Well, as we go back on board, this is with Brian Zinn. He's in that teal color Corvette with Daniel McKelvey. Now, that was my pick. He's there in 5th. So right now, it's fair to say I'm beating Richard. And the Dale, thank you very much again for letting us know about that audio quality and any bugs and stuff like that. It is highly appreciated. Definitely, if you want to stick around for every broadcast, I would be very much on board. In fact, share it around. You can be our #1 fan for the Apex This iRacing broadcast live on Pit Road Productions. But we should mention our sponsors as well. You can probably see them flashing on the screen. Well, I tell you what, Richard, why don't you tell us about a couple in just a few moments, sir?
Yeah, well, one nice thing with Apex This is it's a free league to race in. Well, it looks like we got people starting to come into the pits, but it's a free league to race, but a lot of that is done by donation and sponsors. So got several sponsors at Apex This. One is Apex Sim Racing for immersive racing gear. They're great Cube Controls, Momo, Mozo Racing, Sim Magic, OBP Motorsports, OMP, Bridge DPC, and Apex Sim Racing brands.
Well, that will leave that sponsor alone for the minute. As you see there, Daniel McKelvey, he is hot, trying to chase down. That's the view he has from the car. He's trying to chase down Brian Zinn in that teal color Corvette. This is the battle for the final podium position as it stands right now. Actually, as I say that, Mark Miller, so he pit on lap 6, so it's going to be where it's a wet course, ladies and gentlemen. These tires obviously not having the same kind of life. I'm hoping Mark Miller did that intentionally. I do not see a warning for him having an incident, so perhaps a strategic move there from the, where's he gone now? From the number 19 Porsche 911.
Yeah, I think something may have happened with Mark actually causing him to go into those pits. It's a little early. He's not going to be able to make it all the way on fuel if he's pitting this early.
Well, I'll be surprised if these guys do a 2-stop strategy, but stranger things have happened. It may not be, it may not be the fuel that is a limiting factor in this. It may be the tires, but I'm not actually too sure how long the tires will last in these conditions. But as I look back, it looks like we got a few cars in the pits. Troy Banks is one of them. Actually, he's disconnected. So Troy Banks, Josh Sheps, and Russell Elizondo, they are all out the session. What about Austin Diltz? He's currently a lap down. Stan Hammonds, he's not having the most luck right now. Trying to get caught up with him. Tyler Reeb, there's quite a few cars. It's just not leaving me the thing. Oh, hang on, I know why. There we go. if you change to a car that's not in the session, it appears to default to the scenic cam. But this is your race leader right now, Neil McDougall. He's there in that 911 GT3R. And I've got to say, what an absolutely fantastic sounding car. But for me, the McLaren is the best sounding GT3, and yet so heavily underrepresented here at Apex this.
Well, that's because it's garbage. I mean, let's be honest. I mean, it sounds good, it looks good, it just doesn't go good.
No!
Oh, and Andrew McMurray broke a little too late there, took a little bit of grass, and lost the position.
Well, it looked like he was right all over the back of the 12 car of Corey Mitchell, but not quite able to get it done. Corey Mitchell very happy with that result, pulling away about a 2-second gap. What about Aaron Sunday there and Sean Garou? So Aaron Sunday is in that 911. Sean Garou right behind him. He's in Chevrolet Corvette. And then Craig Ream a little bit behind that. But Morgan Smith, he's taken the fastest lap and is currently up in second place, doing an absolutely fantastic job for WBM Racing.
Yeah, nice to see Morgan having a good bounce back after last week where he had a couple of issues under braking. And, hey, well done.
Yeah, definitely a good job there from Morgan Smith. Definitely keen to see how he does as well. But Brian Zinner and Daniel McKelvey, these guys are still been going at it. As is Aaron Sunday and Sean Garou. We're going to keep an eye on the timings on both. About 9/10 of a second. Actually, 9/10, 8/10. These guys pretty much mirroring distances at this point. But McKelvey looking to claim that final podium spot. But Brian Zinn, I believe he's currently third in the championship overall so far.
Yeah, Brian Zinn's he's a long-time Apex this racer, and he's always up near the lead in the points. Consistency gets you up into the top 3, 4 always.
Well, that's the one way of doing it, ladies and gentlemen, especially with a wet track. You know, if you don't have the pace, have the consistency, as it looks like Fozzie Fazillo, he has returned to the pits. And let's have a quick check-in. Who has used their fast repairs so far? So the first one I see is Stan Hammonds. Actually, no, Mark Miller has used a fast repair. So I'm going to try and see if I can find an incident to see what happened to Mark Miller. He hasn't shown up on my radar as having an accident. Maybe if you can find it for me, Richard, by all means, give me a hint. But nothing showing up on the radar there. But that is quite a big hit for him because he is currently, I think he was leading the championship going into this race.
Yeah, he was leading the championship and leading the race. And I'm looking it up, Sippy, and if I can find it, I'll let you know where it is.
Thank you very much, Richard. As we continue here, it looks like Adrian Adams is under heat there from Sean Garou, a little bit behind. Actually, no, my apologies. He's chasing Sean Garou, trying to make up from that mistake from earlier. I believe it was Adrian Adams, not Philip Adams. And actually, speaking of which, let's see, not that we want to put him off, let's see if we can steal him. Is he in the Discord right now? Let me have a quick peek here. I know one of the Adams brothers is currently hanging out in there. I'm going to try and scroll with this mouse. Oh, yeah, there is a few people in there. Let's see. Philip Adams. No, we want Adrian Adams. Yep, he's in there. So give me 1 second here. I need to make this a little bit bigger. That's not how I wanted to do it. Okay, here we go. All right, so we're live on board with Adrian Adams right now. I understand you're trying to chase down Sean Garou. Tell us, how is the track handling with the wet conditions so far?
It is pretty rough, I'm gonna be honest. I jumped in for about the qualifier. I had one practice lap, so I'm just trying to hold it together out here, to be honest.
Not that we're a distraction, but Adrian Adams almost losing it going into that final turn. Gives Sean Garou a little bit of a break to get away, but so far on pace, yourself and Sean Garou both doing 2:27s for a best lap, but you've got him licked. I say licked by about half of a second, as it looks like somebody's just gone in the pit. Yeah, Corey Mitchell's just gone in the pit, so he's now clear out the way. But Aaron, we're going to leave you to it for this battle. Good luck in the race so far, sir.
Appreciate it.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, that was Adrian Adams there. But let's see as well who else we got. Actually, we'll give that on hold because Daniel McElvery, he's caught up to Brian Zinn right now. They are getting closer, and Brian Zinn is actually in the Discord. Brian, I've got no doubt you are aware that there is a 24 Corvette right behind you, sir.
I am indeed aware.
Tell us a little bit about the conditions so far. I understand quite a few guys really struggling with that grip. Yourself up 3 positions, McElvery up 5. What kind of tactics are you doing to try and manage these conditions?
Just trying to find where the grip's at the moment. The conditions are a little bit wetter than we had in practice, so I made some setup changes based on that, which have helped a little bit, but there's just some transition areas where it's right on that right on the cusp of a dry line forming, and so trying to seek that out and find it's been a real challenge, and keep Daniel behind me at the same time.
Well, sir, I've got complete confidence in you, and certainly an experienced Apex this veteran, but we're going to leave you to it for now, sir. Thank you very much for popping in.
Cheers, gentlemen.
Thank you. All right, Richard, did you have any luck finding the incident? See what happened to Mark Miller, sir?
No, I don't see anything in the report. I just saw that he was he pitted and he was driving slowly on lap 6.
That was Craig Ream just gone sideways through that corner.
No.
And that looks like Mark Miller just capitalized on that. We'll see if we can get a, I do want to go back a little bit if it's going to let me. Give me 1 second here. Brian Zinn's just set the fastest lap, actually, but I do wonder if, how do I do this? Let's see, try hitting that. That didn't do what I wanted it to do. I'm trying to set it, so... Is this going to show me what I wanted it to show? Let's have a quick look here. No, Mark Miller's already ahead of him in this case. So we saw him get a... Oh, no! I've got a warning from McElvery. It's telling me he may have crashed. Let's see what happened here.
He's coming down the front straight. He's entering, getting ready to enter turn 1, and we've seen a few cars do this here, and yeah, he got a little too far inside. Looks like he caught a puddle, and back end came around.
Thankfully able to keep that car off of the wall. Definitely very, very lucky, but did lose a little bit of position there. Ty Johnson was able to sneak by. Andrew McMurray, a few guys, but it's fair to say as well, they do take rejoins very, very seriously here at Apex Distance. It looked like it may have nudged the wall slightly. There you go. That's Ty Johnson going by there in the green BMW, but not what he wanted to do. And certainly good news then for Brian Zinn. That means McElvery no longer right behind him fighting for that 3rd spot. But good news for Morgan Smith. That puts him up into 3rd position.
Yeah, well, just a little Mark Miller update. From what I hear from the Dow reporting in from, it looks like must be on track somewhere. Looks like Mark Miller might have tapped a wall a little bit, and that's what the cause of the early pit stop.
Well, thank you very much for the Dow there, and also good to see Chris C joining in. Scotland for the win. I know exactly who he's going to be cheering on, and that's going to be this gentleman here, Neil McDougall, currently your race winner with the Scottish, well, race leader, sorry, with the Scottish wingtips there happening on track. But let's see who's the battles going on right now. Lucky Dip, and we're going to go for Roman Bykoff, ladies and gentlemen. He's currently in a little bit of a battle, a little bit of a wiggle there. Stan Hammond's doing the same. These guys, if they keep carrying on shaking these cars, we'll be able to find them a job in a very seedy establishment, because if they keep wiggling the rear end like that, people are going to start throwing dollar bills.
Oh, no. Well, Stan's not going to make it easy for Roman to hold him off. Stan's a very aggressive driver, and we'll see what happens there in the next coming laps. Oh, no, Sean Giroud looks like he just got a little outside and tapped the wall going through the kink.
Well, that definitely wasn't what he had in mind, and I was about to bring him in to ask him a couple of questions as well, but we're going to leave that be for the minute. He has enough pressure there. Aaron Sunday, that's in the 911 right behind him, and then Mark Miller behind him there, looking to try and make a recovery drive as Morgan Smith, yet again, setting a fastest lap. He is on fire in that Lamborghini today.
Yeah, he's always fast. It's nice to see him having a good recovery effort here after last week. Good job.
definitely what he had in mind. And I've seen a warning that Corey Mitchell may have crashed as well. So we've got heroes and zeros happening right now. Let's see very quickly what happened to Corey. So there he is. There's Corey Mitchell in the number 13 car. Sorry, number 12 car there. And that is an over rotation. With
He's going through the moraine sweep, and he did a big sweep.
Yeah, doing his little bit there to try and sweep the water off the track. But what about happening with Jean Garou right now? He's still under pressure. And you can see there, Aaron Sunday right behind him, Mark Miller behind him. And as I say that, I go on the camera and Jean Garou does a full 180 and backs off into the sand trap. Not what he had in mind. That little green monster by the rear wheel, well, far from impressed in this scenario.
Well, he does much better when we don't show him, so maybe we should just leave him for a couple of minutes, let him get his bearings before we call him in.
Yeah, no, I'm definitely going to leave him be for now. We don't really want to kick a guy in the nads while he's down, but at that point, he's on the beach. He's probably a pretty accessible target. As you see there, Ty Johnson being hunted down by Daniel McKelvey. BMW versus Corvette, and my money, honestly, it's still on McKelvey despite that incident. And you see there, Ty Johnson choosing not to fight too hard. I think that gentleman there is going purely for attrition at this point.
Yeah, Ty Johnson making probably a very calculated move there. He's already up. He was up 12 positions. He's still up 11 positions, so he's having a good race. He doesn't want to blow it right now. Lots of laps left still.
Well, actually, right now, Ty Johnson is our hard charger. He is up 11 positions so far, so doing an absolutely fantastic job keeping that car clean. And actually, I believe I can see incidents as well. No, maybe not. It's telling me that everybody's got 0x, and to put it bluntly, I call BS on that one. There's no way there's 0x happening in here. There's Neil McDougall, who's just gone in the pits as well on lap 11.
Yeah, it looks like Neil's coming in for fuel, just a regularly scheduled pit stop, I hope.
I believe so. Actually, let's fast ahead. There you go. He's there heading for his box or on his way out of it. And that's one of the WBM cars. I believe that's Austin Diltz in the pits, maybe Fozzie Fazillo as well. So very mixed results there for WBM. And yep, I believe that is McDougall just coming there to his pits. And that is Brian Zinn in the background as well in that teal Corvette.
Yeah, if we just stay on here for just 1 second, Zippy. Yeah, I don't see the cars going up on the jacks. They're staying with the original rain tires.
Well, I can't say I fault them for that. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm not sure exactly how much life they've got in them, but certainly on a 40-minute race, I would hope that they would last the distance.
Yeah, that's for sure. I mean, it's cool track temps, very wet track. You'd expect to be able... I mean, you can in the slicks, and they're not overheating these tires, so they should make it.
And it looks like I see action happening throughout the field. Is that Morgan Smith? Okay, so that's making sense. Morgan Smith there in the pits. That's why I'm seeing a couple of passes happening, occurring there. Actually, quite a few people come in the pits for lap 11. I've got Brian Zinn, Neil McDougall, Ty Johnson, Morgan Smith, Adrian Adams, and Aaron Sunday. These guys all pit on lap 11. But Neil McDougall is basically, he's your race leader right now because the guys ahead of him have not yet made a pit stop. So that's Philip Adams, Andrew McMurray, and Daniel McKelvey. So currently these guys leading the top three.
Any chance we can take a look at Joseph Maher there, Zippy? It looks like he had a crash on the last lap.
Well, let's take a look. Talk us through it there, Richard.
Oh, well, we've seen that before. He got out wide. He got a little on the grass, but he managed to hold on to it. Nice job there. But entering the next corner for the left-hander, the back end just come right around on him. But managed to keep it off the wall, and looks like no damage, so no harm, no foul.
Definitely not the preferred racing line through that corner, but it appears to be that he's managed to keep it off the wall so far. That Ferrari not having any damage. But I've got to say, as we're taking a look at Joseph Maher, it does appear that the sun is coming out here at Wisconsin. The Road America circuit's starting to dry up a little bit, but with just 5 laps left to go, I don't think they're going to be able to clear that standing water.
Yeah, you're going to lose too much time, I think, coming into the pits to gain any advantage, even if it does dry up a little more. So I think they're staying on rain tires till the end here.
Yeah, as I look through the timing right now, every single car out there is on the rain tires, and if it's not on the track, ladies and gentlemen. It's gone up into cyberspace. But at this point, the closest battles on track is between these 3 cars right now. Under a second between first, second, and third. And I do wonder, is this going to be when they go in the pits? And yes, Philip Adams heading into the pits. Andrew McMurray right behind him, with Daniel McKelvey, I believe, following there in third.
Yeah, it'll be nice to see how things shake out. Once you conclude the pit stop sequence, and once these guys get back out on track, we'll see where everybody stands.
Well, the eye in the sky is going to be keen to keep an eye. There you go. There's Neil McDougall. So he regains his race lead as the other guys are there in the pits. Who else is coming now? That's Brian Zinn. He's going to leapfrog back round as you see the guys just starting to leave the pits now. And Mark Miller, is this going to put him in for a chance? We saw he pit up very early, and it looks like he's going to be able to leapfrog past. Yeah, he's leapfrogged up into third position. You can see there, the other guy still in the pits, not able to make it out yet, is Adams. Adams a little bit slow.
A little bit. Oh, I don't know what happened there. Maybe he took too much fuel by mistake. Maybe he changed tires. I guess we'll see. The one thing we have to worry about, Mark Miller's sitting third right now, but I don't think he has enough fuel to get to the end. We will find out.
Well, as I look at the lane times there, so Andrew McMurray, he did a 41.1, McKelvey 40.7, but Philip Adams 43.3, so losing over 2 seconds to the rest of the guys in this field, and that is what has put him at the back of that three-car battle. The Taco Bell Ferrari leading the charge with Daniel McKelvey's Corvette in the second part of the battle, with Philip Adams there in third.
Yeah, it's the Taco Bell car's doing a good job. Oh, let's take a look at Corey Mitchell here. He's got somebody coming up hard on him. It looks like that might be Stan Hammonds. But Stan's just taking it easy. He's not going to make a move this corner. Get up close to Corey and see if he makes a mistake, I guess.
Well, we got to give Stan a little bit of props where necessary, because I believe Stan is one of the people who have gone and broadcast this league as well. And certainly when getting set up, he was very, very supportive. And I got to say, even now, his iRacing photography is absolutely phenomenal. And I got to say, his driving is not bad either, as he's almost giving Corey Mitchell a nudge there. These guys so close. I don't think even their wives would get that close in that scenario. Definitely getting very, very cloak and dagger here in this Corvette battle.
Yeah, that Sky Lounge Corvette is looking like it wants to get past Corey. Going around the carousel here, it's a tough place to make a move, but you're going to set yourself up going down the back straight through the gate, going into Canada Corner. If you get a good exit, it looks like he's got a good exit. Corey's doing a little bit of maneuvering there, trying to find some dry spots.
Well, it looked like he went and had to go a little defensive there, and not only that, fast bend, you do not want to try and go too wide through, as Stan Hammonds is going to try and send it on the outside, but Corey Mitchell defending with everything he's got, and I believe that's Morgan Smith right behind him, so I wonder how come Morgan Smith dropped back so hard. He was up in third. We'll have to have a little bit of a look later. I've got no warning for a crash from Morgan Smith, so hopefully he can regain a podium position, but Stan Hammonds... My apologies. Stan Hammonds keeping Mitchell very honest right now.
Yes, Stan's a checkers or wreckers kind of racer. He's not gonna let off. He's gonna keep applying the pressure until he can get around him, or not get around him. And hopefully we get to see some good racing entering turn one here.
Well, it does appear that on the straightaway, the draft not being that effective for him, and you can see he's really pushing. And it's such a battle as well, because Road America is a very fast circuit, and obviously with the rain, you are not able to push it to the same kind of limits, even with the rain tires equipped. You know, it is a slower lap. You see a little bit of a wiggle there from Mitchell, braking to try and correct that, and a little bit of a power slide as well. Is this going to be the opportunity that the 55 of Stan Hammonds has been waiting for? He's close. He's very close. He is under a tenth of a second, ladies and gentlemen, but it doesn't look like he's quite able to get by.
Yeah, he's all over his bumper. He might even be pushing him there, and he just doesn't. Maybe he's got a little more downforce than Corey, and that's preventing him, even with the better exit, from getting by.
So we say that he was able to go up on the inside, but not quite able to get alongside as Corey Mitchell tries to defend, and it's too late. Stan Hammonds had a little bit of a run on the inside, slight little bit of a lockup there perhaps from Hammond, and not quite able to get it done. But the whole time these guys have been battling, look behind you. It's Morgan Smith, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, Morgan Smith's making a big closing efforts here, and that's what he needed. He needed those two guys to battle, slow down, and let him get right into the game here.
Well, we're going to
Corey's had a little bit of a spin, and there goes Stan right by him. Morgan following right through.
Well, we're going to have to put that on pause very quickly, because it looks like something has happened to Brian Zinn. He has dropped from second to third, and that looks like he's going round the carousel there, or... Yeah, that looks like the carousel. Let's see exactly what happened. We know there's over-rotation has been an issue, and as I say that, he delivers, and a little bit of a nudge.
It looks like the track's drying out significantly, but Brian tried to take a little faster than he could. Conditions aren't quite that good yet.
Well, he has managed to hold on to the third position as it stands right now, but we're going to get back to one of those battles, and it looks like Morgan Smith is hot on the heels now of Stan Hammonds. Corey Mitchell kind of dispersing out the way at this point. He's dropped back over 1.2 seconds, but there's also a battle going on with Philip Adam and Andrew McMurray. We'll keep an eye on that as well.
Yeah, Morgan Smith is having a charge back here after, I'm not sure what happened earlier, but going down this front straightaway, he's still too far back to make a move at corner one, it looks like.
Yeah, definitely too far back as it stands. Himself, Stan Hammonds and Corey Mitchell all spreading out a little bit. Corey Mitchell actually dropped back to 2 seconds now. As we see there, Philip Adams and Daniel McCalvary. And here we go. These guys are going to be getting at it again. So McMurray is currently, he's at the back of that pack now. McCalvary's in the middle. And Philip Adams, he's there at the front.
Well, they're going side by side, and we're going to see what is one of the longer straightaways on the track here, and it gives you an opportunity for a pass entering turn 5.
Well, definitely an opportunity he's going to be looking forward to. But, ladies and gentlemen, we got Philip Adams in the booth right now. He doesn't know it just yet. At least he does now. Can you see exactly what's happening behind you there, sir?
Yeah, they're battling, and I'm really glad they're battling back there. That is really nice for me.
I figured
Hope I
that
can
would...
pick up a little gap here.
Well, at the minute, that gap has opened up to about 1 second. McMurray is about 3 tenths, almost 4 tenths behind McElvery, but that Ferrari, and actually a lot of the cars today having an issue with over-rotation in these wet conditions, but McElvery not wanting to shake a stick out. What are you going to do to try and hold on to this fourth place right now?
Well, I've been struggling to keep it smooth myself, and I'm just going to try and keep it smooth here and just keep racing, try not to spin out. That's about it. That's all I can do is hope I keep going and they keep battling.
Is the track getting drier and a little more grip now, Philip, as the race drags on?
Oh, go ahead. That's Brian's in off.
Oh.
That is great for me. Brian's in. Sorry, buddy. That sucks. He's been racing a really great race. I'm sorry I didn't hear the comment. I got you turned down too low in my Discord here.
No, I was just wondering if the grip has picked up a little bit now that the race is getting a little longer.
The grip has massively picked up. I think we're running right now about 3 seconds faster. I was doing 226s in the rain, 228 somewhere in there, and I'm going about 3 seconds faster. So the grip is much better, and a nice dry line is starting to pick up here. The time that I've been looking forward to possibly switch over to dries, which is not going to happen now. 219s was what I was looking for to switch over to the dries. I don't think anybody's hitting 219s yet, so we're going to stick with the wets.
Well, good luck through the rest of the race, and keep up the good work.
Thanks, guys.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, that was Philip Adams joining us both for a interview, but it looks like McMurray are back at it. Actually, so is Morgan Smith and Stan Hammonds, even closer again. Morgan Smith was able to get by Stan Hammonds, but Stan Hammonds is having none of that. He wants that position back. Again, the checkers or wreckers approach. How far will it take him? Morgan Smith dipping a wheel in the grass, able to keep hold of that Lamborghini now. And Stan Hammonds trying to pressure Morgan Smith and force him into an unintentional mistake.
Well, you don't get the name Stanimo for nothing. It's going to be an interesting last 2 laps coming here.
As we say that as well, there's a battle going on. Something happened to Adrian Adams as well. We saw roughly what happened to Brian Zinn, but Adrian Adams looked like he had an incident as well. But we're going to leave that for the minute because right now, Andrew McMurray and where's he going? Andrew McMurray and Daniel McKelvey going hard at it, and it looks like McMurray's managed to make a move on the inside. He's run out of track. He gives McKelvey a little bit of a nudge as he sneaks on by.
Oh, that was a very aggressive move and nice pass. Looks like they weren't too happy there. A little bit of light flash, but you got to get by somehow.
It definitely wasn't the cleanest, as it looks like Stan Hammonds has made it past Morgan Smith. I'm going to get you a replay of that. Just give me 1 second here. Take us through the action there, Richard.
Well, the Stan's going to be aggressive. He's not gonna want to sit behind him. They're coming up here. It looks like up to turn 6.
Oh.
And Morgan just went wide, got off onto the grass, and Stan just zipped right on by.
Well, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. He managed to force the issue. Morgan Smith breaking a little bit too late into that scenario. And I do wonder how he dropped back. He's definitely somebody who I'd like to catch up with a bit later. But it certainly isn't over yet. As you see there, Morgan Smith applying the pressure to Stan Hammonds under 0.2 of a second, which in such slippery conditions could go very, very wrong. As we see a little bit of a wiggle there from Morgan Smith. Zoom out the camera a little bit. There you go. Using all of the track available. And he is definitely applying the pressure, doing a fantastic job in that V10 Lamborghini.
Yeah, it's getting that power down and keeping it planted is a well, it's a tough effort today, and he's done a good job. Well, Stan gets a little loose, and that might be an opportunity for Morgan to close up the gap a little bit here.
Well, I do wonder if I just caught my iRacing mute button by accident, but I think I'm good because I can hear it as well. So apologies if there was a little bit of a glitch there, but it looks like Ty Johnson, he is very much ducking out of that fight, as that is the white flag, ladies and gentlemen, white flag. And as it stands, Neil McDougall is in the lead. Craig Green, once these conditions dried out, he's absolutely smashing the fastest lap after fastest lap. He's currently back in ninth. But Ty Johnson, you know what? No, he's defending right now. He is not having it, and he is holding back the Corvette of Stan Hammonds and the Lamborghini of Morgan Smith.
Yeah, Ty Johnson's had a pretty quiet race, and he's doing a good job holding him back so far. It's going to be tough with these long straightaways here, though.
Definitely a tough scenario as well. That draft will have an effect, but we've seen in the rain so far, it's not been quite as effective. As you can see there, a little bit behind him is Craig Green, so he'll be hoping for a little bit of a carnage. But Ty Johnson, one of the few BMWs on the grid, in fact, the only BMW I believe I've seen this evening.
Yeah, BMW doesn't look to be the car of choice this season in Apex this. Where's Neil McDougall at on the track right now, Zippy?
That's a valid point. We should probably try and make sure we catch him going across the line. He's had a very, very clean race so far. Not used a fast repair. Actually, speaking of which, Mark Miller, he's back up in second. We were worried he wouldn't make it on the fuel, so he's doing okay right now. But Neil McDougall, he's not quite at the end just yet. But Stan Hammonds and Ty Johnson are still going at it. We'll have a look at Neil McDougall in just a second. We'll give it another couple of seconds here. See if a little bit of a correction there from Ty Johnson. He's there slamming the brake, just trying to get the front end to get a little bit of weight on it and try and force that car around the corner. Is Stan Hammonds going to make a move here? I sure hope not.
No, I think he's going to wait until Canada corner.
Morgan Smith!
And,
save!
that was impressive, but he may lose a position yet if he doesn't get going. And there we go. Neil McDougall with a victory. And looks like the YouTube, the Dow, called it as a Chris C.
Well, fair play to the Dow on that one, but we've gone straight back to this battle between Stan Hammonds, Ty Johnson, and Morgan Smith, who's now dropped back about 2 seconds. And it's fair to say that Stan Hammonds did manage to sneak by. We'll get a replay of it very quickly, but we're just going to see if Ty Johnson can answer back going into that final corner. I don't think he's close enough. He's about 0.6 of a second back. Yeah, he's not going to be able to answer on that. So let's take a quick look at the replay and see how that pass got done.
Yeah, he got the draft going, exiting the carousel, and he was well, nice and tight behind him with a good exit. And here I think he's just biding his time, waiting for the entry to Canada corner and beat him under braking. And let's take a look and watch. Oh no, he got a little loose. Ty got a little loose, and looks like Stan got side by side just after the kink, and he was ahead of him long before Canada corner.
Well, I've got to say, in terms of sheer cojones, that was an absolutely fantastic move. Able to get it done, cleanly as well. Definitely a very assertive driver, but not what he had in mind. I do see a warning for Brian Zinn as well. Let's see. Yeah, it tells me he crashed. It's fair to say his race definitely went from good to bad very, very quickly. The raining conditions catching him out, but wow, what a race, what a race. Like Neil McDougall, he was your race winner. And let's see, actually, as well, let's see if we got anybody hanging around for interviews. I don't see him in here yet. Actually, Richard, while I queue up the grid, why don't you give a little bit of an announcement in just a second? We'll hear it as well. That's okay. Give the guys a hint to get into the Discord for interviews.
Yeah, I will. And if Sean is still there, maybe we can pull him. And he's been waiting, and we just didn't want to bug him during his race. I'll see what I can find here.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, Richard's going to see if he can recruit some of the podium for a interview. Philip Adams is somebody we are going to be able to grab there, but Mark Miller and Neil McDougall, it'd be great to actually get a chat with you guys. We see McDougall going around there right now, but you know what? That concludes the race, ladies and gentlemen, and I want to say a great job by McDougall. Fantastically clean race, and yeah, let's go over the grid in just a second. Let me just get rid of a few boxes here. The grid? That's not what I meant. The results. Let's go over the results, ladies and gentlemen. I do want a different camera up as well, so give me 1 second here. Okay, looks like Richard Swindles is back, and here we go. Let's go over the results. And again, my apologies. I do need to get it fixed where it says pit. But Neil McDougall, he was your race winner in first with Mark Miller, the choice by the Dow here in chat. He was in second with Philip Adams in third. That concludes your podium with Andrew McMurray and Daniel McElderry in fourth and fifth. Stan Hammonds, that's one of the battles we saw near the end, able to take sixth place from Ty Johnson in the closing stages of the race with Morgan Smith doing a great job in that Lamborghini. Really good day by him in the 18 car in 8th with Craig Ream in 9th and Corey Mitchell there in 10th. Richard, take it away.
In 11th, we had Aaron Sunday, followed in 12th by Sean Giroux. Brian Zinn finished 13th after his late incident. Adrian Adams 14th. Roman Bykoff 15th. And we had Joseph Maher in 16th. Fozzie Fazillo was 17th. And then we had Tyler Reeb in 18th. Austin Dilson 19th. Troy Banks 20th. We had Josh Sheps 21st, Russell Lozano 22nd, and those were all of our starters today.
Yeah, Richard Swindales did definitely not run, but ladies and gentlemen, let's see if we can get, we'll try and get our third place finisher first, so just give me 1 second here. So we've caught up with the third place finisher, and I believe that was Mr. Philip Adams. Richard, any questions for this young gentleman, sir?
Well, Philip, we speak again this week after last week, and nice job on third. How was it out there tonight?
Man, it was great. The rain is pretty difficult. Luckily, I'm actually pretty good in the rain, typically. I had a few mess-ups, which stunk, because I didn't mess up at all in practice. But, no, it was a pretty good race. Trying to save fuel. I was, a few weeks ago, I was saving fuel, trying to just stick with Mark Miller. That's what I was trying to do tonight also. Just stick with Mark and save fuel, and it just didn't work out because I kept messing up.
Well, a podium finish is still a good result at Road America in the rain. Nothing to be ashamed of there. Good job. And anybody you'd like to thank for your efforts here?
I get just Team Fat Boys. That's what we're here to do. Me and my brother Adrian. He came in late, so I was hoping he was going to get up with me, and we would be able to fight some of them battles later on together. But it didn't happen. But maybe there's always next week.
No, I love Team Fat Boys. I think I belong in that team. Well, congratulations on the podium, and thanks for joining us.
Thanks, guys.
Well, my apologies there, ladies and gentlemen. I am trying to get the what's his name? Get the footage rolling there. But I understand you managed to catch up with second place, which is, as I try to drag him in there, Mark Miller.
The same. Hey, hello.
Surprise.
Right.
Hey, Mark, congratulations on second. I'm just curious, what happened? You went for a very early pit stop. Was there an incident that we missed, or you just decided? Okay.
Yeah, there sure was. The big sweeping right-hander there, and I was like, maybe I can get on the throttle just a wee bit earlier. Well, no, you can't. And I just touched the grass, shot me across into the wall, and I thought, the wheel was crooked, and I thought, okay, it might be okay. And then I got the meatball, and then I was just hoping that, let the pit window open here. I'll go around as many laps as I can before I'm forced to pit because the car would still drive. I just needed to get to the pit window, which I did the next lap. So I went in, got the quick repair and some fuel, and then, I just tried to not push it after that and be safe and see where I ended up. And, so I was pretty happy with P2.
Oh, that was an awesome result. To be honest with you, I was a little bit worried, and I know Zippy was too, that you had enough fuel, but you obviously calculated out what you needed to do, and good job.
Yeah, thank you.
Well, congratulations on second. Anybody you'd like to thank or say hi to?
Well, like everybody else, thank the wife, I guess, right, for letting us do this. So yeah, that's about it.
Right on. Well, thanks a lot, Mark, and congratulations. You're having a great season, and keep up the good work. We'll look forward to seeing you next week.
Yeah, thanks. Appreciate it.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, that was Mark Miller, and I have been able to catch up there with Neil McDougall. That is your race winner. Neil, an absolutely flawless race today. Tell us a little bit about how you prepared for such an event.
Well, living in Scotland, it rains a lot, so pretty used to driving in the rain.
Fair play. Fair play.
It wasn't even a fair race, was it?
No, I guess home advantage. Yeah, basically I just tried to keep it clean. I knew Mark was going to be quick, so when I seen the gap I could get in behind him at the start, I didn't want to be left on the outside on turn 1 and turn 2. So I kind of sneaked in behind him, and I was just happy to follow him and try and gap the other guys. But unfortunately for Mark, he had a wee incident in like lap 6 or something.
Well, it
And then
definitely.
that gave me just a clear track.
Well, it definitely wasn't what he had in mind. But Neil, it's been an absolute pleasure watching you handle these rainy conditions. But it looks like you're doing quite well in the championship. I was just trying to take a quick peek, and by that I mean I'm multitasking. And ladies and gentlemen, we know how well that goes. So there we go. Where's it gone? There's it gone.
I'd like to say, Neil, we appreciate you bringing your own viewers too. So it helps our broadcast by having more interaction. And hey, thanks a lot. We're really glad you brought some people along to watch.
Yeah, no worries. They're on my I was in Discord with them, so I told them that it was on, and they
All right, excellent.
thought they'd jump in. Yeah, I find he's doing a good job, man. He's doing a great job.
Well, it's been an absolute pleasure to watch you. But before we let you go, is there anybody you'd like to thank?
Just yourselves, and then the organisers and the stewards that do all the hard work. Really, we just turn up and race.
Oh, definitely a sweet scenario of being, but it's been very good to catch up with you, ladies and gentlemen. Mr. Neil McDougall.
Take care, guys.
You too.
Thanks, Neil.
Well, Richard. Oh, sorry.
Is Sean Giroux still in the booth?
Yeah. No. Sean Guru has
I
disappeared.
thought we'd have a little talk to him and hear his thoughts and let him express some anger. But well, we saw you there, Sean. We just didn't want to bug you when you're going through some trials and tribulations. But please join us next time, and we'll try and pull you in mid-race.
I'll tell you who is in the booth who I would like to get a hold of, though, and I think you're going to be able to relate to this one. Let's see if we can drag him in very quickly. He won't be expecting it, but ladies and gentlemen, let's have a quick catch-up with Stan Hammonds.
Hello.
Hello.
And the man, how are you?
I'm soaking wet. Thanks for asking. How are you?
We're doing better than you, and we're drier too.
Oh my gosh, yeah. No kidding.
Well, it's been...
How was it?
oh,
So how was it, Stan?
Yeah, you know what, man? I mean, it was fun. I had a little, I got wrecked pretty early out of the kink. I had a big moment through there. I made a pass into the kink, and then as soon as I get there, I just slipped and the traction control kicked in, and I just got driven through from behind and decided to go ahead and pit.
I believe we did show that just so so everybody else could see it as well.
Yeah, it's for posterity's sake. I love going back and watching my wrecks, but it's yeah, it was just one of those things. It was raining and I just slipped right in front of the guy and never had a chance. So that's kind of a bummer, but I decided to go ahead and pit since the window was open, and I was able to just set lap time after that for the most part. I had a really good battle with Corey for like 3 or 4 laps, and then I guess he hit a puddle in front of me and had a really big moment into whatever the corner right before the carousel is, that left-hander. He had a big moment into there, and I was able to pass him, but we were fighting. It was going to be close. And then had a battle with, I think it was Morgan and Ty after that. We had a good battle all the way to the end. We were all over each other on the last lap, and it was great. It was super fun. And, Corvette, Road America, in the rain, that's like 3 of my favorite things. So I had a good time.
It can't be beat. And if you watch the broadcast later, we did manage to catch a lot of your good close battles that you're talking about, and as well as your spin. So we got you covered all the way around, buddy.
We got the best of everything. That's why I love watching these broadcasts, because you guys cover the highest of highs and the lowest of lows for me. So
it's wild world of sports here.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot for coming in. And anybody you want to thank?
I would like to thank Tyler Pierre Richards for sitting in Discord with me while I screamed and cursed and did all the stuff that you do in the middle of a race.
Oh, TPR was there too, was he?
Yeah,
Awesome.
he was my moral support. He was my coach. So thanks to
He
him.
certainly wasn't your spotter, I'm guessing.
He was my why are you trying to drive the car so fast? It's raining. Please stop. If that's a coach or a spotter or whatever it is, he was my he was like the anti-hype man trying to get me to slow down. So
well, awesome. That was great seeing you out racing again, and I hope to see you again soon. Thanks for coming in, Stan.
Always a pleasure, gentlemen. Good talking to you.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, that was Stan Hammonds, and he is also an experienced broadcaster as well. But we're going to flick over to the cameras in just a second. You're going to be stuck with our ugly faces. Sorry about that, at least my ugly face and Richard. But give me 1 second here. Let me There we go. And we are back. So what an absolutely fantastic round. We're going to be at the Cataluna track next. It's not one I'm super familiar with, but Road America, I got to say, one of my favorite tracks on the iRacing service.
Yeah, Road America is awesome. Catalunya, to be honest, the first time I ever drove it was in a 24-hour endurance race with 12 hours notice. So I'm fairly familiar with that track, although it's not necessarily my favorite.
So, ladies and gentlemen, Richard Swindells will yet again be multitasking. He'll be in the race standings and commentating as well. I got to bust his chops for that. But, Richard, we should probably go over the sponsors a little bit more. We managed to get one of them out there earlier. Let's see who can get to the sheet first. I'm going to try and find it.
Got it here.
Perfect. Go ahead, sir.
We already talked about Apex Sim Racing, so we'll leave it there. We also have another sponsor of Apex. This is Full Speed Sim Coaching, where your personal coach will make you a better sim racer. Blake's mission is for you to get a better understanding of sim racing fundamentals to take you to the next level. Using visual guidance and telemetry analysis, he caters to novice and intermediate racers using iRacing and a set of Corsa.
Well, we also have Get Good Racing. That is racing with one-on-one coaching or a self-directed course. Get Good Racing has what you need to improve your iRacing skills. Marion, he is a 5K iRacing driver and one of the top 1% of iRacing drivers. In the end, his goal is to make you understand how you can self-coach yourself in the long run, giving you all the tools and making sure you can use them.
Finally, we have Race Smarter with DRE. The Digital Race Engineer is a premium spotter and crew chief with many additional benefits. Built exclusively for iRacing, the best iRacing spotter, it's perfect for VR users, monitors your racing, contacts and it alerts you. It's a crew chief iRacing needs. Use your voice or buttons to control over 400 commands, get vital feedback from over 50 voice alerts, nothing to look at and be distracted by, it's audio-only communication.
Well, what an absolutely fantastic series, and it has been an absolute pleasure here. I'm going to flick the cameras back on. There you go, we're back, ladies and gentlemen. But what a race, what a fantastic race. And I got to say as well, huge respect to the drivers. You know what? It is very challenging conditions. GT3 cars, very wet, a very fast track, and I'm actually very impressed. You know, I had a pun lined up for if these guys absolutely completely clustered it, and I didn't even get to use it, so we're gonna have to save that one for another show. But I'll give you a clue, it is a pop culture reference, I guess, so we'll see what happens. But next time at Catalunya, I don't know what the weather's gonna be. I'm definitely not a meteorologist. It's fair enough to say that it's hard enough being a commentator and a director, and even more so being a comedian. But ladies and gentlemen, my name's been Daniel Zippy Salmon. It's been a pleasure having Apex this here on Pit Road Productions, joined by the one and only Mr. Richard Swindells and our director. Yep, that's me. We were joking earlier about saying, oh yeah, you know what, it is what it is, and we joked to say, oh, the director's getting paid, but the commentators are just winging it. What an absolute gag, and great fun. But ladies and gentlemen, it's been a pleasure. Richard, before we go, any parting words?
Yeah, thanks Apex this racers. You put on a good show tonight. Yeah. Daniel had a great time calling the race. He raced clean. Very exciting. Look forward to next week.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's been an absolute pleasure. We're going to catch you next time round. Thank you very much for joining us, and we'll be here next week on Pit Road Productions for Apex This GT3.